Imagine this. You're staring at your bank account with less than $100 to your name. The weight of failure feels suffocating. You think to yourself, how do I bounce back from this? What if I told you that some of the world's most successful people were once in that exact position? In this video, we're diving into their stories, not just to inspire you, but to show you the actionable steps you can take to turn failure into fuel for your own success. But here's the catch. Only those who stay till the end will discover the one principle that guarantees wealth if applied correctly. Intrigued? Let's begin. The Fall. Stories of failure. Let's start with a name you've probably heard. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company, Apple. Yes, the company he co-founded. Can you imagine the humiliation, the fear of irrelevance? He later admitted that being fired was devastating, but it also forced him to start over, to think bigger. He founded two companies, Pixar and Next. The first became a creative empire, and the second? Apple bought it, bringing Jobs back to lead the company to even greater heights. Now let me ask you, what would you do if the one thing you poured your soul into was taken away? Would you let it define you or refine you? And hey, before you answer, no, you can't just drown your sorrows in a tub of ice cream. That's not the strategy here. The pivot. Lessons learned now. Let's talk about Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Before Spanx, Sara was selling fax machines door to door, a job she hated. She failed the LSAT not once, but twice, crushing her dreams of becoming a lawyer. But instead of giving up, she pivoted. Sara noticed a problem. Women's clothing didn't provide the comfort and fit they needed. She had no fashion background, no funding, and no connections. But she had persistence. Here's the turning point. She spent 2 years working nights and weekends to develop her product. She faced rejection after rejection, but she stayed relentless. Today, she's a billionaire. Here's the truth. Sometimes failure isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new path you didn't see coming. The lesson? The ability to pivot and persevere is often more valuable than a perfect plan. The Rise. Turning failure into wealth. Finally, let's look at the story of Walt Disney. Walt Disney's first animation studio went bankrupt. He was told he lacked creativity. Let that sink in. The man behind Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, and countless childhood memories was once told he wasn't creative. But instead of giving up, Walt leaned into his vision. But it wasn't just creativity that made Disney successful. It was one critical financial decision that changed everything. Disney reinvested his profits. Instead of focusing on quick wins, he poured resources into building his brand, creating intellectual property, and scaling his empire. This principle of reinvestment is what separates wealthy individuals from those who just get by. And no, reinvesting doesn't mean buying more crypto every time it dips. We're talking about strategic growth. Closing. Call to action. Here's the takeaway. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a prerequisite for it. The real question is, will you let failure stop you, or will you use it to build your empire? Now, if you're serious about building wealth, here's your next step. Watch my video on the power of compounding. It's a game changer for creating long-term financial freedom. Click the link on the end screen, and I'll see you there.